Welcome everybody to Hobby Time. Today I'm going to show you how to paint the Abomination from the Spire. This is a part of the 2-player starter set. Now, to paint the Abomination, I use 4 contrast paints. Remember, this is a beginner's tutorial to make it nice and simple for them. Now, make sure you have spray painted your model with a white undercoat so the contrast paint works well on them. And the first one I'm going to use is Darkoath Flesh. This is going to be used on all the flesh parts of the model. There are quite a few on this one, and because I'm only using 1 contrast paint, this takes quite a while. Now start off with the feet. You've got 4 of these, make sure they're all done nice and evenly, and then move on to the legs. Now I painted the scales over with this, so I didn't have to use the bone color, but it is up to you. Once you've done the legs, it is now time for the abdomen. This is going to be the biggest part, which will take the longest, so take your time, be careful, make sure you don't hit the bone parts of the armor. And finally we have the hands and arm. Make sure you get these with the same color, so it's nice and simple. Okay, all that is done, now it's time to do skeleton horde. This is for all the bone parts of the model. Now there are a lot of bone parts to this model. First off, I'd start with the bone on his legs. This makes it nice and simple. Then go on to the arms, and then once you've done the arms, I'd move on to the body and head. Just take your time. This is the part that took the most time for me to paint, and just make sure you're accurate and you don't get it on the skin. And there we have him, all done in bone. Now it's time to paint the nails. I used Wyldwood, the contrast color. This is a nice brown for nails, especially for a model like this. Give it a good shake. This is a nice easy part. Just make sure you get all 4 feet and all 2 arms and you are done. Now this is the last color. This is Akhelian green. We're going to use this on the legs as well as his face mask. This is give a little bit of contrast between all the rest of it because it currently is only 2 colors. Now, this is nice and easy. Put it on, be careful so you don't paint over the other parts, and you're good to go. And here you go, your Abomination all painted up. Now it's time to start the base. Now we're going to use Vallejo earth texture. I like dark earth. It gives it a nice dark tone for the ground, especially since they're in a swampland. Make sure you cover the whole base of this, and then the base is nearly done. Now, I like to give my bases a wash after I've done the earth tone. I'm using Agraff's earth shade. Just give it a wash over the entire model. Now it's time to blacken our base. You can also use brown if you want, just make sure it's nice and uniform across the entire thing. Now it's time to dry brush. The first one I used was Khaki by Vallejo. Just give it a nice dry brush over the ground, make sure most of it's out while you're using the dry brush. Next up, it's Pale Sand by Model Color Vallejo. Same again, nice simple dry brush. Make sure this one's a lot lighter because it is a lot brighter. Now it's finally time to finish it off. Time to add our tufts. I'm using Gamer Grass. You can use whatever you like. Just make sure you use a glue that glues clear. And make sure you're a bit sparing with it. You don't want patches of glue all over your base. And here we go, all done. Now I think this model turned out quite well. We only used 4 colors because this is a beginner's guide and you could use more if you wanted to. Thanks for watching the tutorial. Now this has been Hobby Time, and I hope you have a great day.